I just want to go on record and say, I told you so. Okay, turn it off. That's all we can afford. What's going on, you guys? Steve here. So Alpha Theta officially unveiled the CDJ 3000X. In the middle of the night, the company dropped a new trailer where they're showing off some of the new features, and I figured we could react to it. I made a video not too long ago where I basically called this thing out, but we can get to that later. For now, let's just check this thing out and see what it does.
From nightclubs to festival stages around the world, the CDJ multiplayer has empowered DJs to express their sets with creative freedom, from professional reliability setting the standard for DJ gear for over 30 years. Today, building off the globally acclaimed CDJ 3000, the next flagship professional DJ player inherits the familiar legacy that DJs have come to know, while offering next-generation advancements in expanded media support, enhanced browsing, improved sound quality, and refinements to performance features.
Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Priyon Joni from Alpha Theta, and we're excited to introduce to you the new CDJ 3000X, Alpha Theta's next-generation DJ player. From touring DJs moving from stage to stage, to the professional DJ who needs a reliable player in the booth at their nightclub, the CDJ 3000X.
They're using that new USB-C flash drive too.
A diverse variety of styles.
I told you guys something was coming when they made that.
The CDJ 3000X now has built-in Wi-Fi, allowing for direct internet access wirelessly.
Sick.
On the front panel of the CDJ 3000X, an NFC touchpoint allows you to instantly access online music by simply holding your smartphone, running the latest version of Rekordbox Mobile for iOS or Android right over the reader.
That's
No
very
need
cool.
to type in your password. Simply hold your phone on the reader and sign in to your Tidal streaming account when you have the DJ extension add-on, or the cloud for your music library. If you have the creative or professional Rekordbox plan, you can instantly access your Rekordbox music library stored on the cloud using Cloud Direct Play. Alternatively,
cool.
if your mobile device doesn't have NFC or you don't have the Rekordbox mobile app, you can still do a single sign-on. Using the CDJ 3000X, you can pull up a QR code that you can scan with your phone, which allows you to sign in to your Tidal or cloud account the same way. On the CDJ 3000X, there is now a second USB port for your music library that is now USB Type-C. And the USB port
I told
for
you so.
connectivity has
I
also
told
been
you so.
upgraded to USB
People
Type-C.
called me crazy. They
new
cooked me in the
USB Type-C
comments.
port
I
for
told you
storage
so.
Devices is located right below the USB-A port on the top left. So that means you can now use a flash drive equipped
When
with
they made that
USB-A or
USB, I
Type-C
told you
ports,
this was
or
coming.
one with
I
either,
literally called
like the
this.
SanDisk DJ flash drive. You
People
can
were
now
trying to
browse,
argue.
select,
I
and
told
manage your
you.
tracks more intuitively with the CDJ 3000X, thanks to the new larger 10.1-inch high-resolution capacitive
Golly.
touchscreen, which allows you for displaying up to 16 tracks in the browsing screen, up
Very
to 12
cool.
tracks with the medium and large text sizes. With better visibility and smooth control, you can find and play tracks much quicker. For rapid searching, you can copy track info simply by holding the track and paste it into the search bar by clicking paste in the keyboard. And for the first time on a CDJ, you can edit
Were those
playlists
buttons
by
at the top?
reordering the tracks directly on the unit. Click Edit on the display to activate edit mode. By selecting a track, you can rearrange or delete tracks within a playlist.
Nice.
And if you're using Cloud Library Sync, the changes will reflect automatically synced across all your devices.
That's super
Sometimes
handy
a
because
track
sometimes
at
I find
70
like
BPM
combinations
could
on
be
the fly
analyzed
and I'll have
at
to remember later
140
to like
BPM
pair the tracks
and can
together.
play back the wrong speed when using beat sync. On the CDJ 3000X, you can now change the BPM to double or half-time value within the grid adjust.
Love that.
Double and half-time adjust allows you to correct the BPM value of your tracks manually, so you don't have to worry about tracks playing back at the wrong tempo. CDJ
Yep, that's
3000X
nice.
now has Playlist Bank for quick access of up to 4 of your favorite playlists. And each individual CDJ 3000X has its own independent set of 4 playlist banks.
Cool.
This is really useful for back-to-back sets when you're playing with another DJ so that you can get back to your own favorite playlists. On the CDJ 3000X, you can manage tracks from various media sources all into one playlist with global tag lists. That means
That's
you can
cool.
tag tracks from multiple USB drives, cloud storage locations, as well as streaming services so they appear in one single list. The tracks from online sources will automatically start downloading as soon as you tag them, which helps minimize the load time. Track information display time has
Wait,
also
is it
been
showing the
improved
source?
with
It looks like
Rekordbox
it
Cloud
was.
Direct Play,
That's cool.
so you can browse just as smoothly as tracks stored on your USB drive. By tapping the track title on the track ID display, the CDJ3000X now gives you the ability to hide your track ID, indicated by the visibility icon to the right.
That's crazy.
Track ID remains
That's
hidden
kind of
even
wild.
After you load a new track. You can toggle it
Wow.
back to visible by tapping on the same area again. This is especially useful when performing where there is also a crowd behind you. In addition to the
That's
popular
pretty
touch
cool.
key feature, which allows you to listen to any point of the track through the headphones by pressing on the waveform, the CDJ3000X introduces the option to set hot cues from the point you're monitoring, called Preview Hot Cue. When you use the touch key feature, you have the ability to set new hot cue points ahead of the track that is already playing. You can use it creatively to choose a section to drop or skip to, or come up with a unique technique that involves the hot cues.
Interesting.
For smoother cueing, you can enable Smart Cue on the CDJ3000X, which automatically overwrites your current cue to the last hot cue you click. This eliminates the need to manually do it, saving you time when playing live. To let you know that Smart Cue is enabled, the play button will turn white. To indicate to you which hot cue is armed on the current cue, the current cue button will change to the same color as that hot cue.
Wow.
Gate cue is now on the CDJ3000X, allowing you to temporarily trigger hot cues only when the button is held down while the track is paused. This opens up new creative possibilities for tone play and other performance techniques.
I like that, actually. I really like that. That's something that's always bothered me about the hot cues on CDJs. Whenever you pressed them, it would just go, as opposed to, you know, the standard cue button where you'd have to hold it down to get it to continue playing. That's nice.
Built to deliver exceptional reliability for the most demanding professional environments, the dependability of the CDJ3000X has improved over any CDJ before it. The cue and play button has been rebuilt to withstand 500,000 presses more.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you. Those things are always destroyed, annihilated in clubs.
Need to finally bend the tempo. The CDJ3000X's
love this too.
Expanded range of jog wheel tension adjustment allows you to manipulate your tracks more precisely. When you set the jog feel knob all the way to heavy, you'll notice there's more tension on the jog wheel than the previous CDJ3000. Building on the high-quality sound design and advanced digital audio processing developed for the CDJ3000, the CDJ3000X takes audio quality to the next level. With a new high-performance digital-to-analog converter by ESS technology, the CDJ3000X achieves a better signal-to-noise ratio over the previous model, resulting in a cleaner and more refined sound reproduction.
Very
newly
cool.
designed power supply unit reduces unwanted noise and enhances low-frequency power, delivering punchy bass and warm tone that won't tire the ears, even during long sets. The sound
the CDJ3000 used the same power supply from the 2000s before, so that's cool. They're upgrading it.
With input from professional sound engineers, ensuring exceptional audio performance in any setting, from intimate venues to large-scale outdoor festivals. Carried over from the CDJ3000, the CDJ3000X features an aluminum faceplate, now with an anodized brush finish. The CDJ3000X will also hardware unlock Rekordbox's
You're not going to be seeing all those sticky fingers on it.
You'll also have USB HID support for Serato DJ Pro when the CDJ3000X is used with a Serato-compatible mixer, either through hardware unlock or a license. At launch, the CDJ3000X supports 2 streaming platforms, Beatport Streaming and Tidal. With Tidal featuring single sign-on, you can tap to connect.
I don't stream tracks, but that is cool. I like the option.
The CDJ3000X features a locking IEC cable to help minimize the risk of unwanted power disconnections. And options
I'm so glad they started doing that.
Warranty services are also available for the CDJ3000X.
So
with new expanded media support with built-in Wi-Fi and USB Type-C, along with the large 10.1
USB-C,
capacitive touchscreen for enhanced browsing, and an improved jog wheel, buttons, and sound quality performance, The new CDJ 3000X is your next generation DJ player you can take to the stage and perform creatively with confidence.
I just want to go on record and say, I told you so. I called this thing months ago. I think this teases their plans for the 3000 successor, the most obvious indicator being USB-C. Every device on Earth has adopted USB-C, except Pioneer hardware, even smart fridges. I think it's really smart to make it double-sided with USB-A and C because it future-proofs the device and it makes that transition seamless. I think whenever we see a new CDJ or whatever they're going to call it, since it doesn't have a CD drive anymore, I think it's going to have USB-C. Don't quote me on that if I'm wrong, but if I'm right, quote me. Speculation. People called me crazy. I got absolutely cooked in the comments. People were insulting me, talking about my family, talking about everything under the sun. I don't know anything about DJing. I don't know what I'm talking about. Blah, 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 blah. I called it. I literally called it. A good amount of my subscribers circled back to that video where I reacted to that flash drive they used in this video. A bunch of them were like, hey, you totally called the new CDJ. Forgive me if I just bask in this moment. What's crazy is one of the main dudes who was yapping in the comments of that video ended up clip farming a bunch of rumor videos about the new CDJ. So it's like, bro, really? Really? One thing about me, I don't try to clickbait, I don't try to rage bait, I don't just make videos to try and get a rise out of people or try to get a bunch of views and stuff. Like, I just make videos about stuff I think are genuinely cool, topics I think are interesting. I decided to make that reaction video to that USB flash drive because CDJs didn't have USB-C, so it's like, why are they making a Rekordbox branded USB-C flash drive when none of their units are compatible with that? Obviously, something has to be coming. The company was making all of these controller refreshes, a bunch of their products, they kept rebranding them to Alpha Theta, and then there was the CDJ 3000. They claimed it was their flagship unit, but it was the oldest and most outdated product they had at the beginning of 2025. So I just assumed something was coming. It seemed like it was common sense, but the comments were so mad, they downvoted the video to absolute hell, and look what happened. So yeah, I'm not trying to get long-winded about this, but I told you so. I think it's going to have USB-C. Anyways, it has a bigger screen and a USB-C port, but other than that, it looks almost identical. USB-C just seemed like a no-brainer. Technology is just trending that way. There were a bunch of people in the comments saying, we'll never see USB-C on a CDJ because the port is flimsy and the speeds and blah, 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 this and that. Well, they did it literally 3 months later. They were developing this while you were trying to argue with me, so. Anyways, I love how you're able to change the values of the BPM on the unit. I also love that you're able to change the order of your playlists. Like I said earlier, I would have to remember certain combinations. If I did them on the fly, I'd have to remember, hey, when I go home, make sure you put these songs together so you can make this transition again. It's cool I can do that literally mid-gig. I'm not really moved by the streaming stuff. If that's something you value, that's fantastic. I'm not shaming it. I'm not knocking it. Every time I say something doesn't interest me, there's always people in the comments trying to argue about it. That's just my preference. I use USBs, I don't use cloud music, but the option is cool. I love that they redesigned the cue and play buttons. They've kept those things for a long time and they're always beat up. The switches on the PCB always get cooked. I do repairs on my own CDJs and I take really good care of mine. I think it's cool they can endure, you know, more of a beating. Hopefully people are kind to them, but you know, DJs are always rough with other people's stuff. I hope they reworked the hot cues at the top. I don't think they did. They didn't mention that, but those things are pretty flimsy too. I love that they improved the tension on the platter. It seems like they paid more attention to that, so every individual DJ can get the feel they want. It seems like with this unit, they tried to just bring more of those at-home Rekordbox features into the club so you can do this stuff on the fly. You don't have to remember to do it after a gig or prep it before a gig. You can address some of this stuff while you're up there playing. I think that's fantastic. It definitely seems like they paid attention to the criticism a lot of DJs had concerning the original 3000. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a stem guy, but I was expecting them to implement stems or something correlating to that, simply because that seems to be the company's focus all year. They've been pressing that, especially with their new controllers and a lot of their other units. They've been implementing drum features and stem play on everything, so I was expecting something. I think this is a pretty solid upgrade to the original unit. These are some good changes. I'm sure some people are going to be bummed or frustrated about them removing the SD card slot. You guys let me know in the comments if you use SD cards and if you're kind of bummed about that, but I don't use them. I don't know anybody who does. Overall, this is a pretty good upgrade. I personally will skip this one, but I do think this is cool. I'm sure I'll see this in the clubs where I play pretty soon. I don't think these changes are worth the upgrade. I've owned every mainline CDJ since the CDJ 850. But yeah, I don't think these changes warrant that jump for me anyways. Maybe there's DJs out there who want to cop a personal pair of these, I am not one of them. This is cool though. I think this is really cool. I can't wait to see this out in the wild and get to play on some of these. I think this is pretty awesome. This is officially the end of Pioneer DJ. They officially rebranded to Alpha Theta. So that's a trip. I guess that's all I got for this one. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. You guys like this thing? Are you underwhelmed? What features were you hoping this would have? As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.